that STEM education be prioritized over arts and humanities. All right, that is ABU-FRANCIS Helen Eboh supports the motion. Can we confirm from you?
What do you have?
I beg to differ.
You beg to differ. All right, so there we have it, and we will be starting off the debate 3 minutes each to give your presentation. 3 minutes each for your rebuttal. Your rebuttal will be based on what your opponent says, and 3 minutes each for your closing argument. Are you ready?
Your time starts now.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Science fuels our industry, technology shapes our future, engineering constructs our world, and mathematics puts it all into motion. Without STEM, where would medicine, infrastructure, and even our economy stand? Can a painting empower a city, or can a poem cure a disease? Prioritizing STEM isn't sidelining the arts, it's simply securing our future. We need to be a good day to the chairman, panel of judges, Mr. Moderator, my worthy opponents, and everyone listening in. I am Abu Helen from Government Science Secondary School, Metama, here to say a strong yes to the motion we state STEM education should prioritize above arts and humanities with the following points. To begin with, nations that invest in STEM education, such as China, Japan, USA, dominate the global world economy, and they dominate global innovation and economic competitiveness. Secondly, real world problem. STEM solves real world problem. The COVID-19 vaccine was not invented by an artist, but by a scientist, saving millions of lives. Additionally, the job market. STEM drives the job market. As according to the World Economic Forum, more than 75% of future jobs will require immense STEM expertise. Additionally, STEM drives the art. Did you notice that today's films use animation and computer-generated imagery? Music production is not possible without digital technology, and even literature today is preserved using cloud computing. Equally important, STEM drives national development. Countries like USA, China, Japan, and Germany who invest in STEM innovation experience massive economic growth. Scientific achievement, STEM enhanced scientific achievement, improving healthcare, vaccines eradicated smallpox, MRI scans detect cancer early, and AI is now transforming surgery. My dear NASEEBAH, it is imperative to say that while a novel may comfort a sick person, it is still medicine that saves their lives. Job creation, yes, tech startups like Andela and Utiva employ thousands of Nigerians in order to create employment, all in the name of STEM, national security. STEM enhances national security. Wars are no longer being won today using strategy and swords alone, but it is one using satellites, drones, and nuclear weapons, as is clearly seen in the Israeli-Palestinian war. Not to mention that even today's modern society now depends on engineering technology for survival. Without STEM, there will be no roads, no clean water, no electricity for our survival today. Every single modern community we see around today is a product of STEM. STEM also helps sustainability and waste management, as without STEM, engineers and scientists like Dr. Sheikh Umbo of Senegal would not have developed climate change solutions and energy and waste conservation systems. And finally, STEM also helps during economic crisis. During the COVID-19 pandemic, did you notice that while most occupations were suffering massive layoffs, STEM field still thrives? My dear opponents and my dear audience, I would like to ask you all a question. Do you want to observe the future or create it? Do you want to be the one to transform the world, or you just want to interpret the world? A nation that invests in STEM does not just drive, they innovate. A student that invests in STEM does not just learn, he evolves. And a world that embraces STEM does not just dream. Thank you.
All right, there you have it, a very fiery animated opening from ABU-FRANCIS Helen Eboh there. Now we give NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf 3 minutes to present her own argument. She begs to differ that STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, be prioritized over arts and humanities. Are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now.
Necessity is the mother of all inventions. The devices and machines are born out of art and humanities. As day by day, human wants need to be satisfied. Communities evolve. Time changes. And of course, thereby leading to the creation of more complex societies with diverse needs and requirements for better functionality. Without humans, will STEM education even exist? Without humans, will these devices and machines even be made? Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and the audience. My name is NASEEBAH NANA, and I stand before you all today to oppose the motion which states that STEM education be prioritized above art and humanities. To begin with, entrepreneurship runs the economy of most countries, as it has to do with human intuition, strategic thinking, and creativity. For a for a business to grow and flourish, art and humanities is needed as it inculcates into people decision making, human connection, strong relationships, emotional intelligence, and empathy, which are essential skills for economic growth and development of a country. Moreover, art and humanities enrich cultural understanding and cuts across various diverse customs and traditions of different people of different cultures. It promotes global citizenship through subjects like literature, history, social sciences, etc. It facilitates effective communication as effective communication is crucial in conveying messages or ideas clearly. Art and humanities enable a person have different perspectives of life. As students of STEM are narrow-minded. They think from only one perspective. They think from their own perspective or frame of mind. But art and humanities enable a person have a multidisciplinary approach to life. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf gave us some extra time. I see that.
She did. I mean, she gave us an extra 45 seconds to hold on to.
All right, thank you very much. But we're not giving it back, just so you know. But thank you very much for that. So over to you now for the rebuttal. 3 minutes each. Let's see how far you listen to your opponent and what argument you present based on their own point. ABU-FRANCIS Helen Eboh, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead then.
Listening to protocols, I remain Abu Helen from Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. In the course of my opponent's weak presentation, I could not help but notice that she mentioned a few points. She mentioned entrepreneurship with no clear evidence. She mentioned that STEM itself entrepreneurship requires critical thinking, human connection, empathy, and it leads to economic growth. Let me tell you something. Entrepreneurship itself is under STEM. Yes, entrepreneurs, such as those under Andela and Litiba, they mostly habit under STEM-based fields. You say that entrepreneurship is critical thinking, human connection. Let me tell you, STEM does it better. A doctor requires critical thinking. An engineer requires a human connection with it. A doctor requires empathy in order to deal with his patient. And economic growth. Let me tell you something, my dear opponent, NASEEBAH. Economic growth. If you're talking about economic growth, you start with STEM because the STEM industry alone, the tech industry alone, is contributing more than $40 billion to Nigeria's economy every single year. You talk about cultural understanding with no clear evidence. But let me tell you something. How exactly is cultural understanding propagated in our world today? In a world of STEM, propagated using the resources of STEM, like your television, social media, all of these are products of STEM. Talk about communication skills. Let me tell you something. In a world like ours, such as now, communication is true STEM. Social media, televisions, radios, they have never been better than through STEM. You talk about perspective, art and humanities, multidisciplinary. Let me tell you something. Art and humanities contain less disciplines than STEM. STEM consists of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Do you know what that entails? It entails a very large amount of sciences, from the way you breathe, to the way you eat, to the way your body functions. It all comes from STEM. Let me tell you more things about STEM. STEM makes the impossible possible. Once upon a time, we did not believe in flying, but today we have aeroplanes, we have rockets, people are going out of space. Once upon a time, STEM, we all lived on Earth. We did not have things. Fantasy, communication, instant communication was a fantasy, but today we have the internet. Once upon a time, we did not believe in solving and saving and preventing diseases, but today we have gene editing. STEM achieves while art and humanities imagine. STEM gives progress. If you notice, people who invest in STEM progress faster than those who invest in art and humanities. If you look at the world today, according to the World Economic Forum, people who have art and humanities, they have a tendency to have lower unemployment rates and lower salaries. Lower employment rates and lower salaries, all because of the future is changing. The future is changing, and why not evolve with a word like STEM? Thank you.
All right, timekeeper reaching for the clock.
I was ready to, ring the bell. But I mean, 9 seconds before the time was about to be up. And that's pretty impressive, meaning that you're keeping the time and timing yourself intentionally. So yes, well done.
All right, then. So we now turn to NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf. Are you ready, Nana Yusuf?
Yes.
All right. So
Your time starts now.
I heard my opponent saying that STEM education enables one meet up with job market demand. She mentioned that $40 billion have been generated from the STEM industry. But according to UNESCO, $2.2 trillion have been generated from the creative industry. And this creative industry is under arts and humanities. And they have employed more than 30 million people in such industries. I heard my opponent say that that STEM education improves the economy of a country. But entrepreneurship drives the economy of a country. For instance, Aliko Dangote, who is in the cement industry, who is the richest person in Africa right now, you can see how well he's doing due to entrepreneurship. And we need skills like human intuition, emotional intelligence, empathy, strong connections, strong relationships for these businesses and economy to strive. I heard my opponents also say that students of arts and humanities earn lower salaries. But let me tell you something. This robot and AI that you refer to that help us, they do not have feelings. Robots and AI don't have feelings. They do not have emotions. It is we humans who program them to function, who program them to do what we want to. Thank you.
all right. Thank you. NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf has given her rebuttal, and we'll get to the final round of it, which is the closing arguments. They all get 3 minutes each to give us their closing. And we'll start off with ABU-FRANCIS Helen Eboh from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama, to give us your closing.
Your time starts now. Go ahead.
Studying existing protocols, I remain ABU-FRANCIS Helen from Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. In the course of my opponent's debate, I couldn't help but hear that she said that the art industry as a whole has offered $2.2 trillion. I'm very sorry, you didn't seem to hear me correctly. I said the tech sector alone gives more than $40 billion every year. Imagine the whole STEM sector, science, technology, petroleum, mathematics, and engineering all combined together. How much would that give you? She also mentioned Aliko Dangote as a pioneer of entrepreneurship using cement industries and salt. But where do those things fall under? STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The petroleum he's going into today, where do you think it falls under? That is how he is getting his cool cash. What is emotional intelligence if it does not drive action? Emotional intelligence is simply a feeling. Yes, you said that robots and AI lack feelings, but what exactly are we using them to do? Aren't you using them to make our lives easier and better? What do they need emotions for? My opponent's arguments, I'm afraid I do not understand them. I see them as flimsy and inexperienced. So I am going to boom my conclusion by driving more important points. First of all, STEM helps us to conquer space. Yes, NASA AX, SpaceX, they are finding ways to go for interplanetary colonization. They want to move beyond life on Earth. Yes, art and humanities is clinging to the past, but we want to move forward to a future as STEM innovators. Yes, STEM drives progress. While STEM drives progress, it is saying that during the course of time, STEM has been able to move forward. While art and humanities cling to the past, STEM has been able to move forward, to look forward, while art and humanities look backward. STEM helps us to predict the future. If you look at our world today and look at what everything is going, realize that there's a need for us to be able to determine weather, determine hurricanes, determine tornadoes. That is what STEM helps us with. But art and humanities simply guess the future. They look at their horoscopes, they look at their philosophy, they debate unimportant ethics. That is not what we need in our world today. In our world today, we need action. We need action to make our very own lives much better. STEM also helps in making sure that the whole world is in balance. If you look at the world today, imagine a world where we do not have water, where we do not have electricity. Such a world will be full of darkness and chaos. I'm sure my opponents can agree. But STEM helps to avoid all this. STEM makes our lives easier and better. Without STEM, the whole world would be in total chaos. I'm sure everyone in this room can agree. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There, the closing remark from ABU-FRANCIS HELEN EBOH from Government Science Secondary School, Pierre Kassa, Maitama. And we'll now turn to NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf. Give us your closing, ma'am.
Okay. I heard my opponent say that 40 billion, more than 40 billion, is generated from only the tech section alone. But she also made mention of SpaceX. I think that's by Elon Musk or something. But without emotional intelligence, empathy, these values, these skills, will Elon Musk be able to market his business? Will he be able to drive the economy, and will he be able to succeed? Will he be able to succeed? All this, he needs human intuition, strong relationships, empathy, and all other skills and values for this to happen. Because the AI and robots can't do it on their own. Humans need to operate it. Humans are the ones that market these things. They socialize. Just some last words. Art and humanities should be prioritized over STEM education because it is more creative and subjective, as it instills beautiful behaviors and estimable values in people to enable them end up being well-rounded individuals and versatile individuals in the society. Thank you.
NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf has given us her closing. She's from Diamond Gold Gifted Academy and 14-year-old. So we have heard your presentation, we've heard your rebuttal, we've heard your closing. Let's hear quickly from our diction judge, who will tell us where they sit, how they performed, as the judges put the numbers together. Jebelen Justice, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I must commend the both of you.
Can you help us speak to the mic? Yeah, thank you.
I must commend the both of you. You have done so well, and I appreciate how you attacked, your topics. Nana Yusuf, I think you did well. I love the fact that you know how to pronounce your words like person, heard, What I loved the most was your constant intuition. That is so good to the ears. You don't have as much fire as Francis has, but there's this calmness that helps you to pronounce your words rightly. I picked just very few of your mispronounced words, like individuals. So the word is individual as against individuals. The word is opponent, and the word is entrepreneurship. Instead of enter. I think the both of you actually mispronounced that word. It's entrepreneurship, okay? And not entrepreneurship. So with that, because of how calm you were, that gave you an edge over her. You had this, if I'm to choose, I would choose you, But when it has to do with diction, you were so fast. And so there were a lot of mispronounced words in your speech. Words like problem. So the word is problem, not problem. Millions. Market, not market. Weapon, not weapon. Interpret, okay? Not interpret. Editing, not editing, okay? Then mathematics, not mathematics. But I love the fact you pronounce words like immense. It was so good. And learn. That was really nice. So with this evaluation, I think she did well with her diction in this round, and we're giving her a 2.5.
Who are you giving the name?
We're given Nana Yusuf.
Nana Yusuf, NASEEBAH Nana
Yes,
Yusuf.
a 2.5 with
Okay.
her presentation, her diction rather.
Yeah.
And we're giving you, that is Francis, we're giving you a 1.5, I'm afraid.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so over
you.
to you, judges. NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf get 2.5 for diction, and ABU-FRANCIS HELEN gets 1.5 for diction. The judges, we await the numbers.
While we wait, can we go through some of the comments on our live feed? We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at
Yeah.
Nigeria Info Abuja. You can go onto those platforms right now to be a part of the conversation, watch live, and just follow through. Elijah Dione says Helen has given a hot argument. Nana has power punch lines. Great one is what Emmanuel Essien says. These children need to be at the National Assembly is a comment that Gumpale Solomon sent in on the YouTube platform. Well done to both of them. This two are no match or too much is what Elroy shares on YouTube. Let's see what's happening on Facebook. On
yeah.
WhatsApp, rather?
Well, WhatsApp, someone is like, is it GGSSP Akasa Meitama again? This is from the first debate. I'm like, remember the last time? All right, say kudos to all the debaters. Impressed so far. And the performance have been amazing. Mrs. Omeza is watching from Buari live on YouTube and Facebook. You can see our debaters. You can see how they carry themselves. So go to Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja and YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. Also, you can also see our diction judge there live on screen. Our judges are Dr. Majid Dahiru, Irene Bangwell, founder of NOSC 100 Naira a Day School in Kuje, and Fidel Castro. And our returning officer is here. Dun, dun, dun.
Approach. Always good to see you when you get here in good time, actually. Thank you.
Funny, it makes my heart beat. And I'm not one of the debaters. I'm not even one on the hot seat. But boy, oh boy.
All right, so you've been judged based on your presentation, your rebuttal, closing, your style, diction, and that gives the aggregate score. Oracle, there you go.
All right. So we get started from the table of our Chief Judge, Dr. Majid Dahiro. NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf, who actually did beg to differ on STEM education being prioritized above art and humanities from the Diamond Gold Gifted Academy, gets 2.5 points for aggregate presentation score, aggregate rebuttal score, 5 point, aggregate closing score, 3 point, aggregate style, 11 point, and for addiction, 2.5. In total, you get 24. And ABU-FRANCIS Helen, who supported the motion, and from the Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Meitama, for aggregate presentation score, you get a 9. For aggregate rebuttal, you get a 9. For aggregate closing score, you get a 9. For aggregate style, you get a 24. Diction gets you 1.5. Aggregate total is 52.5. Congratulations to ABU-FRANCIS Helen Eboh. You get to the round of 16. The second person from GGSS, Piakasa Meitama, GSS, Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Meitama. No wonder you're very passionate about this STEM. Like you felt attacked. All right, and our very delectable, soft-spoken, but mashly out of point with fine diction, NASEEBAH Nana Yusuf. Well, I'm sorry. The margin is there. So hopefully you're 14. And I'm sure you'll be ready for us by the next round of the debate. Hopefully. Hope we'll see you. Yeah.
But well done to you. You did really well. I mean, it was really impressive hearing your points and your pronunciations and the way you were relaxed. I mean, debating can be really nerve-wracking, right? So well done to you both for doing your best.
Well done to you both. All right, then. Hopefully we'll see NASEEBAH Nana next time while this young lady gets to the next round. All right, so there we go with the second batch of debaters. This round of 32 is intense. Not with the diction job video.
Give me the nerves as well. But they have to actually about the conversations, the fact that they know doing research, give it points, and fully studies learning it and planning to do better moving forward.
Yeah. So let us say for next time of base settle in. Just before we go on a very, very quick remind you that sometimes the connected development and for the money very passionate about education. 313 Bureau Change. Also help is Bureau Change, right? Thank you very much. 313 does.
I've heard different pronunciations of the change. I would say the change, right?
Oh,
so,
wait.
That is right.
I am right. That's the different George. And 313 the change. So,